If there was a picture to tell a story of what happened between Pirates and Milford, this would be it. Because coming to this game, a lot of people just expected Pirates to absolutely dominate this game and win easily. When they did, but easily, not that much. And we're going to talk about why that is, and we're going to look at some of the key players and key things that happened in this game. We talk about football in this channel, so do make sure to subscribe. It's not banter, it's just football. So subscribe for more content like this. Now, one thing that I want to look at is the overall ball position thing, because one thing that I was saying in the preseason matches of Pirates, I was looking at how they were pressing and how they were able to live without the ball if they didn't have the ball. Now here it's not like it was 70-30, but Milford are a team that is very comfortable playing and keeping the ball. And there were times where Pirates were really looking for the ball and they couldn't find it. But remember, this is a well-coached team. This is a team that has quality players. So even though Milford are also well-coached and they have a structure and they have a system to keep the ball and move it around, they could not create much quality chances, because look at their XG, expected goals, it's 0.24. That's very low, and they only had, well, they did not even have one big chance. 0 big chances created, because as much as they were playing the ball and they were getting forward and they were keeping it more than Pirates, it was not, leading up to anything great. But on top of that, I also want to talk about the fact that in this game, Milford did cause Pirates some problems. Sometimes Pirates were the ones who were causing themselves some problems. Umbata, I think it was 2 or 3 times. Usbisi, there was this one time he lost the ball. There was a time Osiema passed the ball and then they took it from Umbata. But what then happened with Milford is the fact that they wanted to be superstars. You know this thing, you are playing Orlando Pirates, they are like the champions of South African football. They won a treble last season. So you want to impress people by scoring against them when there is a pass that you could make and then your team is back in the game. Milford could have easily scored 3 goals from Pirates' mistakes alone. Not from them playing and dominating Pirates, just from the mistakes that Pirates made. But their players were too selfish to do the simple things. Contrast that with high-level players who, by the way, were playing in the World Cup in Moremi. There is a pass that he played for Hoto, which Hoto ended up missing. And you Milford players were going to try and shoot in that case. So I think that the biggest difference between Pirates and Milford today maybe is partly the fact that Pirates players understand that they're playing as a team and maybe they're not even trying to impress anyone, that just to play for the team to win, while Milford players were not necessarily trying to get the team to win, but they were trying to let me show what I can do and help the team win. You see how messed up that is. So if I'm not the one who's scoring, the team cannot shine, right? So I think there was kind of a big problem that also affected the scoreline of this game. However, there are some players that we also need to talk about from this game who were just brilliant. Already from preseason, we talked about Udansin Uguti. He looked really, really solid and he looked very, very important and impressive in the preseason. And he's coming again in this game against Milford and he was solid. Defensively, he was there when Pirates did not have the ball. But when Pirates had the ball as well, Danson was there helping the team go forward. He just looks so matured on the ball. It doesn't look like, oh, this is a kid who's coming from development. Because yes, I'm still saying development because last season, as much as he was involved with the senior team, but he wasn't like consistently starting matches. The one game that he started where he first started a game and everyone was shocked is the Sundowns game where he ended up scoring. So now that he's going to be given a much higher or a much bigger responsibility and role in the team, it's finna cook. That kid is going to cook, and mark my words, if at the end of the season he ends up being midfielder of the season, I won't be shocked because he has all the attributes. He has all the attributes when they have the ball, composure on the ball. When they have to get the ball back, he's also there. And I'm pretty sure we'll start seeing some crackers from him as well, taking shots. One thing that I want to understand, right, is that in this game, since it was played with Mbatha, and Mbatha is also comfortable winning the ball back, but is also comfortable playing, although there are some mistakes that he made, but Asikolab, how does this work? Because both of them kind of profile as box-to-box midfielders. Is this combination going to continue? Who is Wadu going to drop? Because there is Unduli, who is a 6, right? And as the season goes on, Unduli is coming back from an injury. He's obviously going to play. If it's not Unduli, it's going to be Makaula, because having the two players who are not really specialists in anything, that's literally what the box-to-box midfielder does. They are good going to the other box, they are good going to that other box, which means attacking and defending, but they are not really like 80% really good at defending. They're just very good, but like not, you know, like it's their primary role. Like think of someone being played as a right back and then you ask them to cross the ball. Yeah, they will cross the ball, but you also at the back of your mind thinking, this is the right back, so the best thing that he knows how to do is to defend. If you are a box-to-box midfielder, you are in between. You know how to do this, you know how to do this. You're not like extremely good in one, if you get what I'm saying. So I wonder who is going to get dropped when they introduce or reintroduce Umakaula Onduli. Pirates fans, you let me know, because I don't see anyone who benches Udansing based on how good he is. And I've always said that with Mbatha, sometimes without the shots, because today it wasn't about him shooting. He did shoot where he was supposed to roll the ball across, but without, if you put him and Dancing across each other and say, I have to pick one of you. Me personally, I'm picking Dancing. Who are you picking? Speaking of picking, you know what? One thing that I also saw, I don't even know what is going to happen with Tupaud. He looks a bit shaky, guys. Last year there were these problems that happened with him on the ball. He just looks you know what, I'm going to give him a break. He did not have a break because they came back from the World Cup. I think he rested a week and then he joined Pirates, or didn't even rest. I'm not even sure. So maybe he's tired, maybe it's the first game, so we're going to excuse him. It's just that even last season there were some questionable moments from him where you're like, dude, you can do better because you are a senior player. But we will see, because yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. You know who my favorite Pirates player is currently, or rather a player that I want to see more of, is the guy by Radio Pane. Radio Pane, I like that player. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I think once again Radio Pane should be starting for Pirates. Obviously, Abombutuma probably have shown a lot more because they chase more, they can press people, they can, put pressure on defenses. But as a complete player, a first touch, and also can make runs in behind. There was a chance where the ref said it was offside, where he wasn't offside. Landonale, I think he just deserves to be given a chance. But obviously, coaches don't work like that. They don't work based on whom Pilo thinks deserves a chance. They work on what they see in training. And if Mbutuma helps you press better than Radio Pane, then you're going to pick Mbutum. If Mahopa helps you with the press, then you're going to pick them. Because Radio Pane has everything. He has the physique. So it's not like Sota Mbutuma, it's because he's taller. Radio Pane, even if he's slightly shorter, but the physique, bowling defenders, he still has it. And even when he came on in the game, you just see Mangutlo Mchitalo as a bowler, even before, even the preseason, even last year when he kind of disappeared, and I didn't know that he got injured. I thought he was just benched at that point. But me, I rate that kid very highly, and I would like to see more of him. One player that won't be seeing more of is Maswanganyi, because it seems like he rolled his ankle, and when he went out, it seems like he was crying as well. I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad for Maswanganyi, because think about it. Mfukeng just left and he had taken the number 10 role. And now, it's your season now. You're going to take that number 10 role. First game of the season, you're injured. That has to suck, right? Like that has to really, really suck, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm back now. And since preseason, you've seen him, he's working very hard, chasing down and even helping, obviously, what we expect from him to do, creating chances, being on the ball, playing, helping the team keep the ball, and then he rolls his ankle and then he goes off just like that. But I don't even think Pirates will miss him that much, because there's this kid, Khositsile. When he first came on, he did not come on for Umaswangang. He had come on from Apolis, and then the first time he got the ball, he took the ball straight to the defenders, and then he forced a free kick. And I was like, okay, yeah, we have a new problem. And you know what? You know what, as a Chiefs fan, what annoys me is that it's another gem from development. Kandi Pirates, what is wrong with you guys? Why do you keep on bringing these good players from your development? Like, give us a break, man. How? Like, that kid, he played, let me see. I want to confirm how many minutes he played. Khositsile, he came on the 66th minute. So he played 30, almost 30 minutes. Yeah, almost 30 minutes. He played 27 minutes. And we already saw good, we have problems. We have problems. And what's going to happen now? What's likely going to happen? He might even start as a right winger, and then they put Apolis as a 10. Problems. Because now you have Umremi on the left, you have Apolis as a 10, then you have Khositsile as a right winger. But also when Tito went off, you saw Khositsile playing more centrally and causing trouble. And I'm like, can't you senzeni tina good Pirates? Senzeni, like, why can't you catch a break? Like, why can't you catch a break? Because he did not look out of place. He did not look like a kid who's debuting for Pirates. He just didn't. He looked like he's been there before. He looked like he's done this before. And I'm like, oh, well, that's it. That's it then. They don't sign like big players. iSundowns will sign uLeon. Afika sibulale ngenduko, Shamakola against every team. And you're like, yo, Sundowns and the scouting of theirs, it's so good. We are jealous as Chiefs fans. And then you have Pirates development. You're like, oh, come on. We can't catch a break, honestly. So he's an exciting player to watch. It was the first time I saw him, because I've not seen him in preseason. I guess I didn't watch the game where he played, but I can tell you, when you say a good player, you say a good player. And we talked about this, remember, this thing of Pirates having less of the ball. And one of the reasons was Milford were pressing very high and they were playing a high line. And Pirates, props to the coaching staff, because first half, those balls off at the top, Pirates were getting caught a lot, like when they were trying to play the ball over or through the defensive line of Milford. So there was a time where they played that through ball again when the score was 1-0, but the linesman said it was offside, but the player was inside his own half. And then for the goal, once again, that ball over the top, Mremi gets that ball, he scores. And that is 2-0. It could have been 3-0 if Khositsile wasn't wrongfully judged as offside, because he was running from his half. Same thing with Umoremi Nai, the goal that he scored. He ran from his own half, which the score would have been 3-0. And then Radio Pan as well got a through ball, which was behind the line. Could have been 4-0. I think the ref took 2 goals away from Pirates in this game. So, yeah, I think I will say it again. The key to this game was that Pirates understood the importance of playing as a team, although Milford kept the ball better and still created chances, but they became less threatening because of what they did in the final third. I guess you could just boil it down again to quality versus, quality players versus a quality coach, because Pirates has both. They have a quality coach and a quality players who understand the mission. It's for the team to win. Ngale Milford, good coach wants the team to win, but then there are some players who also want Pirates to notice them, want Sundowns to notice them, because if you perform really well against Pirates or Sundowns or Chiefs, then people are going to be like, look at that number 14, and then people start talking about you. When Pirates need a left back or a right back or whatever, they can say, remember when you played Milford, that player was really good. Or it's not even that they will scout him from this game, but he will catch their eye, and then now for the rest of the season, people will be watching this guy sing. How good is he? So some players were just trying to make names for themselves, and yeah, it cost them. It cost them, because if you're going to play against a good team and try to be individualistic, you're gonna have a problem. So it's a good start for the champions. Let's see how Abo Chiefs follow up later on in the day. I will be posting the detailed tactical analysis maybe tomorrow. Yeah, let me just say tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you on the next one.